Okay guys, I just want to give you a quick update where the project's at so far. Both of the doors, they've been painted now. They've had a cut back and polish. They're looking really great. The other one I've just got over there, I'm keeping them inside just so they don't get damaged. There's a few pieces of trim that I need to get. I've got all the winders, the mechanism for that. I've got the glass for the window. There's like a piece of, I'll just try and show you on this one, just on the inside sort of here above where the door card goes, there's a metallic strip. I've got a metallic strip that goes on the pocket. Now these doors, the Australian Morris Mini, different to the Austin and any Morris Mini produced in the UK, our windows are slightly different. I think the doors are the same, but we've got a vent window here. And that's all put together, but there's the doors need to go on the car before I put all the stuff in it. So let's have a look at the car. I've done a few more things there. So we left off last time, the headliner got finished, so I'll just give you a quick look at that. The lights aren't in the right position, so that's looking pretty good. I'm happy with that. The other job I got started on was the dash. Now I'll just explain the few differences with the Australian models. So in the Cooper S, this gets covered with vinyl, so I've put vinyl on there. And the way to cut this piece, because the vinyl you just buy in one big square or rectangular strip, to get this curve right, what I actually did, I just used some paper and held some paper in there, got the crease line, got another sheet here, sticky taped it to that one, and then another one here and another one at the end, to get that curve line, and then transfer that curve line to the actual vinyl fabric, and then you can cut it, and then obviously a bit of it overhangs here, that gets stuck down, and then the bottom section I just did a few slits along it and then pulled it back and glued it underneath. So I still need to cut here for the ashtray. Where these vents go, use a razor blade and cut a line close to the edge of that piece here. The other side, I still need to trim it nicely and get it glued back, but I haven't done that yet. I'll leave that for a bit later. Same as on the other side. And the other part is the dash rail too. Now I know in the UK models, this all comes as one piece and it just slides straight on. But the Australian models, you actually cover this part of the dash in the vinyl. So a similar way to the top, except this piece, it does not need a curved edge at the front or at the top. It's just a straight strip, and then this section is like that. And then what you do, you sort of just do a few cuts over here, and then bend and glue all of them under. The other tricky thing too was, well, it's not really tricky, you just need to know how to do it. Don't cut the hole for the switch panel until the top is all glued in and all the bottom's glued in. So then a day later I just did a slit along where this switch panel is, and then another slit in that direction, another slit in that direction. So then that triangle sort of piece bends and glues underneath. You can still see a little bit of edge of black vinyl there. That's because this chrome piece isn't, I don't know if it's quite in the right spot, but it isn't too bad. You don't really notice it unless you're looking at it and go, oh, I can see a bit of black vinyl there. But so then, yeah, so this chrome surround, that sort of gets held in place. There's a few tabs on it. They sort of get creased in around the black vinyl, and then this actual switch panel just screws in. There's two screws there. They're the same sort of standard screws on that held the boot lid cable in as well. So I bought a few of those. So the switches are in, but these switches are actually a lot cheaper to replace than what I thought they would be. So it's about 30 Australian dollars for the ignition switch. I think the headlight switch, which is that one here, that's only $13 to get that one changed, and the wiper one too. Now the reason why I needed to order the new switch, because the bolts that hold them on, or the nuts, it needs to have a washer behind it, otherwise you're going to scratch all of this panel. And the reason why I just bought a new switch, because you can't get the washer on its own, so I thought I'd just spend the money, get new switches, even for the ignition. With the ignition key, yeah, it's not working that smoothly, so that's off. That's the ignition, and then to start it, turn it. But you notice that there's a few seconds of a delay before it clicks off, because obviously the starter motor would be running until that clicks off. So yeah, there we go. Yeah, so that definitely needs to be changed because it's a bit worn out. So I've ordered new switches, so they'll get sorted out. The other thing I haven't ordered yet are the ducts for these vents. The ducts are not available in Australia as a new product, but I'll track down a few second-hand dealers to see what I can find. Because even though I haven't got the heater unit yet, I'm still just trying to track down a good price for the heater unit. I might have to get it from the UK as a second-hand item. Seems to be a lot more in there, but it's still going to cost a couple of $100, and it's not something essential to get the car running. As long as it got all the infrastructure to support it, we can sort that out later. So I'll probably have to order the two the vents for that. I'm pretty sure the hose, it may come through this hole here, but I really don't think that is big enough, but it must come through there. The other alternative is that the hose just comes up through this pipe, but I'm pretty sure that is for the fresh air intake. So that's not something you have to install. I do have a blanking plate to go on this piece here anyway. There's another hole over here, so that sort of size is what I would expect the ducting that goes up to the vent to be, but then on this side here you don't really have anything equivalent, so that's why I'm thinking it could be these holes, but they just seem too small. But that's something that can get sorted out later. Alright, so the next thing I need to fit, I did the A-pillars. Now that's obviously not standard, but if you had a white headliner, it would look not that good having white pieces here, I don't think, but because of the black headliner, it makes sense to have this bit black as well. So they're all sorted. I need to put the rubbers on for the doors. Actually this chrome strip, I've got clips to hold that down, but I'm not exactly sure how the clips go in there, so I'll have to do a bit of research to work out how these clips go on. Obviously they sort of just hold it against there, but I'll do that a bit later. Door seals can probably go on next, because then I can sort out this headliner and trim any. I'll just show you there's a bit of excess up here, so on the other side there's some excess. So get the door seals in, and then windscreen can go in once these are sorted, because they just need a screw in. It's just a bit difficult to do that. With the back, let me just show you the back. I've ordered another strip of vinyl because I need a piece, because for whatever reason the headliner kits normally come with a strip of vinyl that you put along this section here. There was a few scraps left over, but I didn't want to go to the point of just having half a piece there, then stick that bit there. I mean, you could do that, but I just thought I'd just order another piece of vinyl. It's not that expensive. So that'll be coming soon. And then I think these are called C-pillars, these sections here. So I'll just show you what I've got for here. Let's move them seals out the way. So that's the old cardboard piece. I've ordered a couple of new pieces of cardboard. I was actually just going to make my own, but it's hard to find a piece of cardboard that size and with a decent thickness. So the back piece of cardboard, which is on something like an A2 sketchbook, would be perfect, but it's hard to find an A2 sketchbook in any of the local shops. I'd have to go sort of a bit out of town to get that. I didn't really want to do that, and I would have been paying like 20 Australian dollars each anyway for and then the cardboard may not be the right thickness anyway, so I may as well pay about the same money and order them. So I've ordered replacements of these. I'll have the vinyl ready to go. There's the old pieces, here's the new vinyl, so they can get stuck on those when they arrive. And once those are sorted out, they need to be in place. I'm sure they need to be in place before the rubber goes around the window, because the actual rubber seal holds them in place. But that's something I'll need to just double check and confirm. And then once that's sorted, I can trim this off too, and then the rear window can possibly go in. The parcel shelf, we can sort that out at a later date as well. They might not need to rush and get that rear window in straight away anyway. To get the interior, that's not a huge issue. That's all getting done new. Carpet, I've already got that kit, but just the panels which go on the doors, obviously, and the door pockets, that all has to get purchased new, and it's pretty costly. So it's a few thousand to get that done, and it's something that I might just put on hold for now, do a bit later, and concentrate on getting the engine in and getting the engine running. That might be a bit more of a priority, because the interior just goes in very quickly. That's not going to take time at all. But getting the engine going, that's going to take a bit more effort. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there for now. I'm not going to film putting the rubber seals on these doors or trimming that, because that's not that difficult task. You want to trim it sort of just so you don't see it when the rubber goes on. So I'll leave it there. So I hope you've had a bit of an update, and it's just going to take time now to do little fiddly bits and pieces. Okay, I'll leave it there, and thanks for watching my videos. I'll just show you a close up there.